Hey friends, welcome to Cooking with Claudia. Today I'm showing you how I make my favorite cookies. We're making chocolate crinkle cookies. These are so ooey gooey, decadent and delicious. Let's get started. We're going to start by mixing the dry ingredients. So in this bowl I have some all-purpose flour. Into that I am adding some baking powder and baking soda. Mix everything together very well, then set the mixture aside for later. Next, we're going to mix the wet ingredients. I'm pouring some white sugar and brown sugar into my batter bowl. Next, I'm adding some salt, whole eggs, and some egg yolks. Last, I'm adding some canola oil and vanilla extract, and then mixing everything together very well. Once very well mixed in, set the mixture aside for later. Next, melt some butter in a pan over medium heat, and then we're going to melt some semi-sweet chocolate. Break the chocolate into pieces, then throw them into the melted butter. Mix the chocolate into the butter until they all melt together. Take the pan off the heat, then add some cocoa powder to the mixture. Mix everything together until very well incorporated, and then you're going to add the chocolate mixture into the wet ingredients. Stir everything in until very well incorporated, and then add the dry ingredients. Fold everything together until very well mixed in, then set the mixture aside for later. Next, grab your baking pan. I'm using a very large baking pan. Line with a parchment paper, then set aside for later. Pour some powdered sugar into a large plate. Add some granulated sugar. Mix everything together, then set aside. So now we're going to start putting together the cookies. We have the batter, the powdered sugar mixture, and the lined baking pan. Then you're going to use an ice cream scoop to scoop some of the chocolate batter mixture. Drop it into the powdered sugar. Then roll it around until the scoop is completely covered in powdered sugar. Place it on the baking sheet, then repeat the process with the rest of the chocolate batter. Each scoop should be about 2 tablespoons. Make sure you space the rolls out well because they're going to rise and spread into very big cookies. Make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake the cookies for 8 to 9 minutes. There's going to be more chocolate batter left, so while the first batch of cookies are baking, I'm going to arrange the next batch onto a second baking sheet, then I'll bake these after the first batch is done. You want to bake the cookies in 2 batches. Look at how beautiful the cookies look when they're done baking. They're going to feel very soft right out of the oven, so you have to let them sit for about 10 minutes to cool, that way they can set. These chocolate crinkle cookies are so decadent. They're chewy on the outside, but soft and gooey on the inside. Every time I make these cookies, I have to control myself because they're so sinfully good and tempting. If you guys would like to make these chocolate crinkle cookies, check the description box for all the ingredients and measurements.